Have you ever just stopped and wondered, how do we actually know what life was like 1,000 years ago? It feels like this giant mystery, right? Locked away in time. But what if I told you we could solve it? All we have to do is think like a detective. Let's dive in.
You know, this is the exact same question a girl named Rashida asked herself. And it's a fantastic question, isn't it? I mean, sure, you can ask your grandparents what happened 50 years ago. But 100? 1,000? It feels like the trail would have gone completely cold. But has it?
Well, here's the secret. It's all about becoming a kind of detective for time. Historians and archaeologists, they don't have a time machine, but what they do have are clues. All these little fragments and echoes left behind by people long ago. So let's follow those clues together, shall we?
Okay, so first things first. Before we start dusting for fingerprints, we have to ask, what can we really find out? What kinds of mysteries from so long ago can we actually hope to solve?
And what's so amazing is that we're not just talking about big battles and famous kings. We can get into the real nitty-gritty of everyday life. We can learn about the lives of hunters, farmers, artists, scientists. We can figure out what they had for dinner, the clothes they put on, and even the songs their children sang. It's all there, waiting to be found if you just know how to look.
Every detective story starts at the scene of the crime. Well, for us, the scene is the map itself. We're going to look at the Indian subcontinent and see how the very land itself, the rivers, the hills, shaped where people left their footprints thousands of years ago.
And I mean, just look at this timeline. The scale we're dealing with is absolutely incredible. We're jumping from the earliest human gatherers hundreds of thousands of years ago to the very first attempts at farming. And then boom, the first cities pop up. Each one of these huge leaps left a unique mark on the world. Now this is where it gets really cool, because you can see how geography guided history. Along the Narmada River, we find evidence of super-skilled hunter-gatherers. Then, up in the Suleiman and Kurthar Hills, people started growing some of the first wheat and barley crops, like 8,000 years ago. You see farming spread to the Garo Hills, rice being grown near the Vindhyas, and of course, the mighty rivers, the Indus and the Ganga, they became the cradles for civilization's first great cities. Every location tells a part of the story.
All right, we've got the map, we know the where. Now it's time to zoom in on the evidence. What are the actual tangible clues that our time detectives work with?
So basically, all the evidence falls into three big buckets. You've got the written stuff, which comes in two main flavors, manuscripts and inscriptions. And then you have the physical stuff, the things you can actually touch, and that's the world of archaeology.
Okay, so let's break that down. Manuscripts were literally written by hand. That's where the manu part comes from. It's Latin for hand. They were written on things like palm leaves or birch bark, so really fragile. A lot of them are gone forever. But the ones that survive tell us about religion, science, and epic poems. Inscriptions, on the other hand, were meant to last. They were carved into rock or metal. Kings would use them to announce new laws or, just to brag about winning a big battle. It's like the difference between a private library and a giant public billboard.
And then there's what happens when you literally start digging. Archaeologists uncover the physical world, the remains of buildings, amazing paintings, tools, pots, coins. They even find old animal bones, which can tell us exactly what was on the dinner menu thousands of years ago. Every single piece, from a simple clay pot to a shiny silver coin, is a vital clue about how people really lived.
So, we've got the scene, we've got the clues. Now it's time to meet the actual detectives who are cracking this case.
All right, meet the team. First up are the historians. Think of them as the text detectives. They're the experts at decoding those manuscripts and inscriptions. Then you have the archaeologists, the artifact detectives. They're the ones in the field, carefully excavating objects from the ground. And the best part is, they work together, constantly comparing notes to build a much richer, fuller picture of the past.
And all of this evidence, every single piece, from that handwritten poem to that buried clay pot, all of it together gets a special name. It's called a source. And for our detectives, the source is everything. It's the raw evidence they use to build their entire case about what happened.
The source material we're looking at today just puts it perfectly. It says this right here. It's not just about finding old stuff. It's an adventure in problem solving. It's about taking all these scattered clues and patiently, carefully piecing together a story that was almost lost to time.
But just when you think you've got it all figured out, there's a twist, a big one. As our detectives gather all these clues, they start to realize something. They're not solving one single mystery, they're solving thousands of them, all happening at the same time.
Let me ask you, did you notice the title of the book this all comes from? It's not Our Past, it's Our Pasts.
with an S at the end. That tiny little letter, it changes everything. It's a clue in itself, telling us that there was never just one single story of the past.
And this table really shows us why. Just think about it for a second. The life of a powerful queen was completely different from the life of a farmer, right? Rulers made sure to keep detailed records. All those inscriptions about their victories prove it. But what about ordinary people? The hunters, the farmers, the fishermen. They usually didn't keep records of their daily lives. So the clues we find are often tilted towards the rich and powerful. Archaeology helps a lot, but so much of the day-to-day life of regular folks is, well, it's a much tougher mystery to solve.
So here's the big takeaway. History isn't one neat, straight line. It's more like a giant, messy, beautiful mosaic, made up of millions of different lives and experiences. And our understanding of it is built only from the broken pieces that happened to survive the long, long journey to reach us today. And honestly, that's what makes this so incredibly cool. The investigation is never, ever finished. Every new dig, every ancient text we finally learn how to read adds another piece to that great puzzle. The story of our pasts is still being written, right now. So the real question is, what amazing clue will we uncover tomorrow?